Alrighty, and we're live, and hopefully everybody finds this stream since I had to delete the first one. But welcome everybody. I am here with my 2 cents and Sir Conservatarian, and we have absolutely no goal with this stream. We're just here to bullshit.
Awesome.
What's up?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How do you do?
And we may have an irate bear joining us. I'm not sure yet.
Okay, sounds
cool.
good.
He said his wife went to sleep and he's stuck with the kids, but he said he'd drop by if he could.
That's cool. That's cool.
All right, fair enough.
We also might have BrownieWifOpns coming on.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys watched many of Andy Worski's live show debates. She was on one recently.
I did not actually see the debate, but I saw that she was on one. I've noticed he's been bringing in a lot of smaller YouTubers than traditionally go on his show, so that's pretty cool.
To me, I haven't been watching Andy Worski in a while because to me it's just streams, and when you just do streams, that to me just kind of gets boring, you know. That's why I try to. Oh.
I mean, like, not every debate is something you want to watch. Usually, like, I skipped one yesterday, but they're usually pretty good. Like, a couple good ones. Like, you probably heard of the famous Richard Spencer versus Sargon debate that Sargon got his ass kicked on.
I did watch that one.
Yeah, to me, the way I see those are debates. Have either of you two played Ace Attorney?
Ace Attorney?
Yes, Phoenix Wright.
I have not.
Well, basically, you're as a lawyer in most of the games trying to get your client not guilty, and the court cases get ridiculous where you talk with the dead in court, which, let's be real here, that wouldn't happen. But it's so ridiculous, so off the wall, and I think, oh my god.
Yeah.
I apologize if I sound different and if I'm behaving different. I'm literally functioning off of 4 hours of sleep, folks.
Oh, believe me, I understand.
Done my share of those shifts, and those always suck. I owe some credit to my brother. This past weekend when I was home, I went and stayed with him for a day. We were chatting. He mentioned that he'd cut soda completely out of his diet. Now, I'm not going to torture myself and cut it completely out, but I actually did cut down quite a bit, and I'm very thankful for the results because I was slowly losing my ability to pull overnight shifts after doing day shifts, which never happened to me before, but I was finally able to actually switch and pull one off recently.
Awesome. To me, I rarely drink soda as it is. And to me, I just don't like the taste of most sodas these days.
Okay.
And caffeine, like, I don't know what it is with me and caffeine. I can handle it, but to me, it makes me feel different from what I usually am, you know? That's why I only take it when it's an absolute emergency. Like if I have to get to the hospital fast to see you before you die, sort of emergency, that is when I'll take caffeine.
Yeah, I had I think what happened was, like, part of it's due to the fact that I have ADHD. Caffeine doesn't work on me in general, but I think another part of the reason why it wasn't working as well as it should have is I think due to the amount of soda I was drinking, I developed a caffeine addiction because I kind of picked up on my soda usage about 6 months ago when I quit dipping.
I don't drink soda at all, but I do drink lots of coffee.
Yeah, to me, I almost exclusively live off of water. I say almost because every now and then I'll drink some milk, but that's about it.
Yeah, the coffee thing reminded me of something funny. Back when I was living in Ohio, a buddy of mine had me run into the emergency room. his heart was racing really fast, and he wasn't sure why.
Oh,
About
God, no.
3 hours, and $2,500 later, found out it's because he was having caffeine and nicotine withdrawals. Because that same weekend he was quitting smoking, and we had ran out of coffee.
Oh, God.
We literally spent $2,500 at the hospital for the doctor to tell him to grab a cup of coffee on the way out, and he'll be fine.
Oh, wow.
Which is where I can agree with people that our healthcare system is a little fucked up, but seriously.
I mean, hey, the comedy, if you can't find comedy, comedy will find you, is how I think.
Oh, yeah. That was one of my favorite things from Gabriel Iglesias, the fluffy guy.
Mm-hmm.
When he recently had to lose a bunch of weight to save himself from literally dying, he had enough people asking him, well, what are you going to tell jokes about if you can't make fun of yourself for being fat anymore? And he's like, dude, between the places I go, the things that happen to me, and the amount of alcohol I drink, I will always have material to bring to the stage.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Humor, laughter, folks. It binds us all together. I think if you can make someone laugh, then by all means, you have a shot in making them a friend, you know?
Unless you're on YouTube, in which case Susan Wojcicki deletes your channel.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Unfortunately.
And again, to me, the reason why I say, like, if you can't find comedy, comedy will find you, is that the other day, I was actually going through the International Women's Day tweets.
Oh, yeah, I saw that video.
I thought, oh, my God. You can't not be serious. I remember laughing my ass off when I came across "pussy is power." I laughed at that because there's some real reality to that statement. Like, we human beings, we find humor in dark or disturbingly true things. I mean, that's why soldiers during World War I would laugh at the fact that they would almost die in trenches. As horrid as that might sound, they laughed at it because it was something relatable to them.
Oh, yeah, it happens with everybody. Like, Mr. Repzion has constantly talked about... Mr. Repzion has constantly talked about having gallows humor with some abuse that happened to him as a kid. Hell, he brought that up when... you guys probably heard about this too because of how big he is, but recently when Shane Dawson was being accused of being a pedophile due to some jokes that he told like 8 years ago. And people are just like, okay, Shane himself was abused as a kid, and he used gallows humor like that to deal with that fact.
Yeah, to me, when it comes to stuff like that, I, for one, don't joke about pedophilia or PTSD. Those are two things I never touch. Now, if it's done in the right context, I can say it can be funny. I say that because recently in South Park for the Fractured Butthole, you fight Jared. That made me laugh because, oh God. Oh God. Now, would I make that joke personally? No, I would not. But,
yeah, it's one of those things there's certain jokes that I can laugh at that I'll probably never make. Like, and even me and my brother even had a conversation about this because we have different senses of humor for certain things. And we brought up the fact that I wish that we could return to the day when if you offended somebody, it wasn't this joke offends me, so nobody's ever allowed to say it. Instead, it could go to where you pull that person aside and you say, hey, that joke offended me. Please don't tell that around me if you don't mind. And out of respect for that person, you said, sure, no problem.
Exactly.
yeah, I agree. To me, I've had people say this. Like at my school, I've been known to be the person to say some ballsy things. And there are two feminists. I was having to deal with two of them at once, and one of them was talking to me, and the other one was also talking to me. And I told her, "Madam, please shut up. If you really trusted your woman here, you would let her talk." You wouldn't be standing up. You'd stand down for her. To me, when it comes to stuff like that, whenever it comes to people saying that, how dare you make that joke? How dare you say that? It just compels me to do it even more. But if you were to just come up to me and say, "Hey, dude," excuse me. I understand that you meant that as a joke, but please don't say that around me. I'll just be wary of that. Then I'll be perfectly fine.
Exactly, because I mean, like, if, like, honestly, Andy Worski had brought that up when they were talking about the Kilroy event, saying that was one of the panels he wanted to have. Like, where's the line drawn for comedy? And that's a conversation I'm honestly interested in having. I'm actually hoping I can, after I chat with him. Actually, I got an announcement about a debate here soon, which is why I brought him up earlier. But I'm hoping to talk him into hopefully hosting one of those sometime if we can find people with more opposing views and not people that agree with each other. Because I think me and him would both be in agreement that we don't want to circle jerk with that conversation. But as far as the debates go, one of the reasons I brought that up, I actually found a feminist who's willing to have a chat with me, and she's actually really chill about it.
Awesome.
Okay, that's cool. The debate topic you said would be like where to draw the line with comedy?
Well, not when I debate her, but that is another debate I do want to have and join Andy on if he ever gets to host one of those, because I know he's a comedian and he wanted to have that conversation at Kilroy, and I personally want to have it too because I've had some really interesting conversations in my personal life about that topic. But as far as the feminist, it's her name's Michelle Guido. She actually, we're chatting in DMs right now. We're talking about going on to Andy's show as a debate. Chris has already reached out, and right now I'm just kind of going through her videos to look up a few topics that we disagree on. So far we're probably going to discuss a little bit about Trump, but I'm not going to touch too much on that because that topic will probably get old pretty quickly. And we also but other than that, I want to touch on like a little bit on response videos because Undoomed has done a response video to her. And I had some notes. I had a few extra notes I wanted to look at. Like she also mentioned the pink tax at one point. I want to discuss that and probably a few other topics. I'm going to go through her videos sometime this week and see what we can talk about.
You said Michelle Guido?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at her channel right now. She's got about just over 2,500 subscribers.
Congrats to her.
Yeah, although I think I'll take a look at some of these as well. A lot of titles here that lead me to believe there may be some stuff worth debunking in there.
Probably a couple, but like she's one of those people. She's one of the people. I kind of developed a thing after one of the people my wife follows on YouTube. Undoomed also did a response to this guy. His name is Rolly. You probably recognize him if you see him. He's the guy. He's bald and he's got a shit ton of piercings and cat eye contacts. But my wife started following him because she actually finds him pretty cool. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't agree with him on hardly anything politically, but he is a pretty chill dude. And like he one time said he saw the Undoomed video and he's got a little bit of a sense of humor, and like he said the only thing he was bothered at was all the Mr. Clean jokes that were made because he's bald, because that actually came because of a medical condition he's got.
Oh God.
Which kind of led me to do something else. Want to do a response video. I usually look through the channel and see how the person is as a person before I decide how mean I'm gonna get. Like when I did the two Melissa A. Fabello videos that I did, that my 2 cents helped me on one of them with, I didn't really hold back because I went through her Instagram enough to know that I went through her Instagram, I checked her Twitter a little bit. I don't think she's up for conversation. I think she just says a bunch of ridiculous things. I'm just going to be merciless with this one.
She's preaching to her own choir. She's not out there to debate people or to have rational conversations.
I actually pissed off a feminist because I actually pissed off another chick on YouTube, on Twitter, because I had two conversations. One of them was on the way it was on a wage gap tweet that was done during International Women's Day, saying, "Hey, if you love your women, pay them equally to men." I talked to one chick who was having a civil conversation and allowing me to make the points that prove that it's false. I had some other chick that was just making snarky comments because she has no intentions of having anybody change her mind. And when I politely asked her, "Are you willing to have a civil discussion about why I think the wage gap is bullshit?" She actually went through my Twitter and she got all pissed off because I had seen Melissa A. Fabello tweet saying basically the same thing, saying that we should pay women equally. And I said something about, well, What's that?
Easy with the language, okay? Cussing, will you please take it easy?
Yeah, I'll try. I'll work on that.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Is everything all right, dude?
Yeah, there's customers in here. They were asking me to quiet down a little bit. But
I understand.
Remind me in about 20 minutes. I'll bring up that joke again.
All right. To me, when it comes to these sort of mob mentalities, because I don't just see it in I've seen it in all sort of political groups. To me, I try to avoid associating with one group. And this is why I don't consider myself libertarian, conservative, or liberal. Because immediately people will think, okay, so he's that. That means I can predict this and this and this and this of him, you know? I mean, you'd be surprised how many people are surprised when I tell them conservatarian. I mean, oh, you're a conservatarian. What's that? And for me personally, I find myself a bit of a middle road with most things. Like whenever I'm around libertarians, I honestly I feel like a conservative, and whenever I'm around conservatives, I feel like a libertarian. It's a very weird relationship, you know.
Okay, you say association brings out your differences, not the things you agree on.
I mean, I agree with for example, when it comes to libertarians, I agree with them when it comes to self-ownership, when it comes to the right to bear arms, to self-defense, and for the free market. But I sometimes disagree with them when it comes to the military, sometimes abortion, and a few other miscellaneous things. When it comes to conservatives, I disagree with them when it comes to like things like federalism. When it comes to gay marriages or homosexuality and other miscellaneous things. Although when it comes to conservatives, I will admit, they strike me as well-intentioned and very smart. But I don't know how to describe it, you know?
Okay.
I'm tired, so I'm not thinking clearly.
I understand. I guess if I may chime in, I did at one point consider myself to be a conservative. And I guess what really ended up making me into a libertarian is I realized, and you know, every person is different. So some people call themselves conservatives, but when I listen to their political views, I'd say they're really libertarians. There are some who say they're libertarians, but when I listen to their political views, I'd say they're really more conservatives. It seems to me conservatives and libertarians often share many of the same values, except conservatives would go further with saying they want to use the power of government to achieve what they consider to be good ends. Now, most libertarians would agree with the conservatives that the ends they seek to pursue are good ends, but they would say the problem is that the same government with the power to do what you want can in the future go ahead and do the opposite on the liberal side of the spectrum. So I think the real problem is the government has too much power.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That to me is not much for a debate.
Definitely not, because I would agree too. The government has too much power. The government needs to be smaller. Like, there's a few things that I do agree we need the government on, just to prevent certain people from overstepping their bounds. Like, I hate to say it because I do believe in their right to be a private corporation, but YouTube's an example. I think they're getting to the point they're almost getting to the point where I think the government should step in and say that unless you cross these lines that equal actual hate, actual terrorism, or so on or so forth. You're not allowed to delete a video or a comment or a channel.
You know what I have said with the whole YouTube purge thing is YouTube is a private corporation, but if you read their terms of service, you will not find anything about we are a leftist-only, progressive-only organization. Now, if when I logged onto YouTube, when I started an account and went looking through those terms of service, if they said YouTube is only a place for sharing leftist, progressive, and otherwise liberal ideas, and we as YouTube reserve the right to delete any content that we deem to be conservative, libertarian, or otherwise right-wing political content. If that was in the terms of service, then I'd say, fine, you're a private corporation, and we would all go use BitChute or another platform. Incidentally, to everyone out there watching, if you don't have a BitChute account, I suggest getting one. But that's not what's going on. YouTube claims, oh no, we're all about free speech. We're all about sharing everyone's opinions. We just oppose what quote unquote hate speech or harmful content. And of course, who gets to decide what is hate speech? Who gets to decide what is harmful content? If you look at, in practical terms, everything they deem to be hate speech ends up being right-wing political opinions.
Yep. Exactly, because like one of the problems is YouTube. They hired the SPLC as one of the people to help police content, and these are the same people that had put Andy Jaworski on the SPLC Hate Watch simply because he hosted a few alt-righters.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, there are so many people the SPLC has listed as hate groups that it's just ridiculous. Focus on the Family Research Council.
Wait, they've added them?
Yeah,
Focus on the Family, or?
The SPLC has Focus on the Family classified as a hate group.
Okay, like, I don't agree with their Focus on the Family's views on a lot of things, but their business is owned in Colorado Springs, and my family's been an avid follower of them for a long time. But which for the record, I don't care if you're religious or not. If you ever pass by their facility in Colorado Springs, I recommend, especially if you have kids, I recommend stopping and checking it out. Kids love it. They got playgrounds and shit for them. But off that topic, like I disagree with Focus on the Family's views on certain things.
But that doesn't make them a hate group.
They're not a hate group.
Exactly.
Wait, hold on. Something's wrong with my mic. Do I sound all right?
So far, the most ridiculous thing that I've ever seen Focus on the Family do is they think that Harry Potter's a Satanist occult film or something like that.
Okay. Yes, I've seen that. Well, the thing about Focus on the Family, they're a Christian organization. So they're not. That's in their statement of, like, they have a statement of faith. That's a requirement for being for their employees and whatnot. It's not surprising then that if you're not a Christian, you probably disagree with some of the things they say. The fact that they, they present their views from a religious viewpoint as an explicitly religious organization does not mean they're a hate group. There's, I think the most ridiculous thing that came out of the Southern Poverty Law Center I've seen is, and I talked about this in my video last week, 2 Day with 2 Cents, the weekly news wrap up that I've been doing on Mr. Dapperson's channel. In 2005, I believe it was, there was a man who was convicted of domestic terrorism when he entered the Family Research Council in Washington, D.C. with a firearm and a bag of Chick-fil-A sandwiches. He later admitted that his plan was to kill as many Family Research Council employees as he could and then smear their faces with Chick-fil-A sandwiches. And when asked how he decided on the Family Research Council as a target, he said he found their location on a hate map produced by the SPLC.
Oh,
jeez.
And I see.
They're one of those organizations. They're usually good intention, but they're at the same time they're good for a laugh.
Haters are motivators, folks. No, seriously, they are legit motivators. Like if you got haters, that's when you know you're doing something right. No one's gonna live life or exist in this world without someone hating.
No, of course.
And if you're
just taking a look at the chat, I see Straight Sith Male says, Sticks, Hex, and Hammer has brought up the fact that centrists are being targeted more than far right or far left YouTubers.
Yeah, to me, when it comes to the centrists, I like to make jokes with my friends that are centrists, like, you dirty centrists, how dare you be neutral? But to me, truth be told, if I had to have a choice between having a left winger, like a far leftist, a far a rightist, or a centrist, to make the last vote or what have you, I would choose the centrist, because at least I can have comfort in knowing that whatever choice that person makes, they're doing it based on information rather than a political bias, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, the problem being, the further left you go, all you're left with is complete totalitarianism. So, I mean, there's not much discussion or ever hope of having any common ground with someone who takes that position.
To me, oh, hey, what's up?
Hey.
Wait, did you show up? Oh,
We got a grill. We
sorry,
have
she
our,
didn't pop up on my screen for an extra second or two.
Yep. To me, when it
Your
comes-
first name's pronounced Rava, right?
Yep.
Okay.
awesome.
I don't want to say Brownie on air. YouTube will probably take the stream down.
No, that's okay. I mean, wait, why?
Well, you know, you're.
I would not put it. I would not put it past. Definitely, if I was bigger or something like that, I would not put it past somebody to be like, "Oh, he called an Indian girl Brownie. We need to flag his channel."
That doesn't make sense though, because that's well, yeah, okay.
that's
fair
for
enough.
Mexicans.
Is it?
We're talking about a group of people that gets offended on behalf of people that don't give a shit.
That's true. That is true. Man, there's been a lot of that going on.
Yep.
Really annoying. So what's going on?
We're having a very relaxed conversation about the dirty alt centrists.
Mm.
Yeah, we just moved into that. We had been talking about the issue of YouTube censorship.
Got you. Yeah.
It's kind of amusing because I never intended for this to get political. I just figured we'd talk about whatever came up.
Okay, fine.
I definitely doesn't have to be. Yeah.
Let me tell you scientifically, mathematically, and philosophically why Witcher 3 is a good game.
Oh.
Or Barry, I'll take it a step further. I can prove to you why pineapple pizza is good.
Oh boy. I'm more on board with the Witcher thing than pineapple pizza, personally. I mean, I'm not a person who's like, oh, it's disgusting, I hate it. Everybody who likes it is like terrible. Like I have, you know what? I have no opinion on the subject.
No, I can scientifically, mathematically, and philosophically prove why pineapple pizza is good.
Well, you know, when he
If
says
you want
scientifically, he might be onto something. When I took a tour of the Dole plantation in Hawaii, they said that pineapple, like the enzyme in pineapple, is proven to aid the digestive process. So
I love pineapple. Great. I just
Wait, you've been to Hawaii, my 2 cents?
I have.
Lucky.
I want to go there, but I haven't been able to.
Okay.
I'm waiting until my daughter is about 4 years older, and then I'm going to try to plan a trip down there. I want her to be old enough to come with us and enjoy it.
Awesome.
I was fortunate that my employer paid for me to go there for something business related, but I, of course, took some free time to do a lot of fun stuff. So.
Oh, definitely, dude. That I mean, one of the hopes I have when I join the Navy is that I'll be able to get all my work done wherever I'm stationed at, and be able to explore. You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you are joining the Navy, I did visit Naval Station Pearl Harbor when I was down there, and it is a very nice place.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think by saying pineapple pizza, we summon Voltar.
Hold on, what? First thing I heard is pineapple pizza. Pineapple.
I never
pizza.
gave him a wrench. He's been here for a while.
Pineapple pizza is shit proving nothing. I mean, here's the thing. One, it's healthier for you. Two, it says my 2 cents says that the enzymes in it make the digestion process better for you. Three, it tastes better. Definitely not as good as pepperoni. I will admit that pepperoni pizza it tastes better, but it's not as healthy.
Okay, I'm going to argue your point against it being healthier because pineapple has a ridiculous amount of sugar in it, whereas if you put something like mushrooms or green peppers or something on it, it's going to be healthier. If you want to go with pizza, could be healthy. Like fruit has a lot of natural sugar in it, so if you're trying to avoid that,
Okay, that was going to be my question. Are you talking about natural sugar or just what they put in the juice when they package it?
Natural sugar, because a lot of people avoid it because it is sugar still. So, yeah.
Yes, but natural sugar is better for you versus artificial sugar.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying, as far as if you want to go with a fruit or a vegetable, like fruits have way more sugar than a vegetable does. So, yeah. And that is my opinion.
Yeah, well,
I don't order pizza a whole lot, but when I do, I usually get the classic stuffed crust from Pizza Hut, and I just
love that so
I just
much.
had stuffed crust last night.
I think that's the only thing that's that is holding up Pizza Hut because they have a patent on the stuffed crust and nobody else can do it. So that's the thing keeping them going. Because otherwise, what do you hear about Pizza Hut?
Not much, really.
Yeah. Upsetting.
I mean, to be fair, when it comes to pizza, when it comes to any sort of pizza place, I don't care what it is, so long as it's just pizza. That's my line of thinking. Then the fact that I'm always hungry, so I really don't care what's served in front of me, so long as it's not gonna kill me.
Sure. I mean, I'll eat pretty much anything.
Yeah.
I'm picky on some pizza places because there were a couple where I lived in Ohio. I'm pretty sure one of the last things they did before they sent out the pizza is took a vat of grease and just dumped it all over the damn pizza.
What the hell?
Well,
they were greasy as hell.
I remember I saw when I was staying at a hotel once, and because I only ever really watch real TV when I'm at hotels because I don't have TV anymore, but I was watching a documentary about the history of pizza, and it was talking about how the term pizza was first used for factory workers in Italy. Basically, would have bread crust and tomato sauce for lunch. It was basically their equivalent to a PB&J sandwich. It was just something easy to do. And it was considered the poor man's lunch, not nothing.
Shit! Don't kill over now.
That you would ever consider being something everyone would want to eat. Pizza, according to this documentary, pizza became big when the Italians immigrated to New York City. A lot of them started grocery stores. They started selling pizza and getting fancier with it. Besides just bread and tomato sauce, they added cheese and whatever else. They realized that people loved it so much they actually ditched the grocery store idea and then started the first pizzerias. And from there, supposedly that was how pizza got.
I mean, have you guys noticed that some of the most popular food that everybody eats is more or less poor people food? Who else was eating bread but poor people, and who else was eating tacos and basically anything that most Americans really enjoy is
what it is this
in another country.
What it is that what they did is that they brought their culture with them when they came here to the United States. This happens all the time. When I was over there in Italy, when I was over there in France, I found out pizza isn't the norm. They have pizza pockets, pizza croissants, and so on, which I just found that to be weird. But it was so good, so delicious. I actually go as far as to say that when it comes to food, Europe has it hands down. But when it comes to fast food, America has it hands down. Me personally, hey dude.
Yeah, what's up?
You might want to, never mind.
I see Irate Bear has joined us.
You might want to fucking greet me, you fucking ignorant shits.
I was waiting for a conservatarian to stop talking so I can say hey.
Fuck me.
What's up, Bear?
How's it going? You guys good?
We're doing very
We're
well.
doing pretty good.
Good, good. What's that fucking noise?
Depends on who it's coming from. If it's me, it's because I'm at a Carl's Jr. to use their Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah, it's definitely coming from United.
The biggest pain in the ass about my job, the times that I'm able to stream, I always have some sort of background noise. It's either my Husky, my APU unit, or the people at the restaurant I'm at.
Okay. I know if you just want to mute the mic whenever you're not talking, that might be helpful. Because when you talk, we can hear you.
Oh, wait, it's on my
When
phone.
you're not talking, we can hear the background.
Yeah, mate. Fix my phone real quick.
So, what y'all talking about?
We're talking about food. And I was saying this, that when it comes to food, when it comes to fast food, we Americans got it locked down. I think that when it comes to the food part of the FDA, I think we're pretty relaxed and pretty lenient. When it comes to the drugs part, I'm in the middle of the road there. But when it comes to like traditional foods, go to the country of its origin. That's where you get the best version of it. I say that because when I was in Peru, I had chaufa, and the chaufa down there tastes delicious. Whereas here in North America, it's not to say that it's not that good. It's definitely pretty good. But if you want to get the real deal, you go down to Peru. Though be wary. Peru in particular, its sanitary conditions aren't as up to snuff as America's, we'll say.
All right.
My stream didn't die, did it?
No, it didn't.
It's still here.
Okay, good. The internet was being funky.
No, you're good.
Yeah, you're-
Yes, I believe most third world countries are lacking sanitation. I feel like I'm quite sure that everyone in the world agrees with that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
When I went to Cape Verde the first time, when I was serving in 2010, I was walking to the bar, saw some of the indigenous folks step out of a hollowed out boat and take a shit next to the road.
Yep. For
Like
me,
one of the saddest things I remember seeing. Don't know if any of you follow Joe Santagato on YouTube, but he was doing a video about strange laws that he's seen. One of them was a law in Oregon that said it was illegal to leave a bucket of piss or a bag of shit next to the side of the highway. And he's asking, why is this a law? And I'm like, sad to say, but my profession is the reason that there is a law, because we have some nasty ass truck drivers that will not wait till they get to a restroom.
that's really upsetting. That's actually super upsetting.
I mean, I never thought of it like that. To me, I've always, like, I remember hearing a law in Florida that you can legally pick up roadkill and eat it. I always thought, why the hell is that okay? But now that you mentioned the truck driver part, okay, now that makes sense.
Wait, but like, why is that not okay?
No, they're legally allowed to do it.
Right. So, but what's wrong with that?
No, it's not that I personally find anything wrong with that. It's just like, why do you have to make a law say that it is? You know, that's my line of thinking.
I guess my concern with roadkill would just be worms and parasites and stuff, but
yeah, not so much the legality of it, but
I mean, dude, if I'm hungry and there's a raccoon in front of me, I can guarantee you I'm gonna catch that raccoon and eat it. You know, you'd be surprised how I act and how I behave when I become hungry.
yeah. Hunger is a powerful thing. It is one of the things that drives humanity. So,
no joke. Like the other night, I ate 15 tacos in one sitting.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
You know what I need to do now that I think about it is I need to go to one of those restaurants and take on their challenges where you eat like a 15 patty cheeseburger. I have to do that.
Sure. I mean, you know, do your thing.
There was my freaking husky the other day stopped at a truck stop and I got some chicken tenders and I got a cup of ranch sauce. I put it on the dash. I put my chicken on the dash. What the fuck? My freaking husky the other day stopped at a truck. Sorry about that. I got some chicken tenders. Mic unmuted. Cup of ranch sauce on I put it on the dash. I put my chicken on the dash. Wait till my Echo stops talking. Hey, can everybody hear me okay still?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Okay, I don't know what the hell just happened. But I got some chicken.
Oh,
what?
Go ahead.
I was saying I had actually gotten some chicken the other day. Got a ranch cup to go with it. I put it on the dash. And then my goofball of a husky, I turned around to get something out of the sleeper of the truck. And when I turned back the other way, the husky is on the dash licking the ranch out of the cup.
Oh god.
So bad. For that reason.
Hey, this is a unrelated topic. I'm just gonna bring it up because I've just opened my Twitter and the first thing on my feed. Did anyone hear something about Brittany Pettibone getting arrested?
No.
Yes.
No.
Wait.
What's the deal with that?
Okay, so according to her friends and such, she has been detained along with her fella. Apparently, they were detained in two separate police vehicles. I don't know what types of vehicles they were, and both sent to apparently two separate detention centers, or at the very least two separate cells. I don't know what the facts are in terms of that. But apparently she spoke to on a payphone to people on the outside. That chap who used to work for Rebel Media, I forget his name, English fella, quite young. Anyone? No.
Rebel
right,
Media. Yeah, I can picture. I think
you
I
remember the drama with Rebel a few months ago.
Yeah, he's the one who he made a video about why he left Rebel Media.
Yeah. I forget his name.
Me too. But
yeah, apparently. Well, at first, people were saying they were detained on the basis that they were going to be giving a speech. And then it was something to do with Tommy Robinson and a possible interview. Possibly both. I don't know what the crack is with that. But apparently they're going to be deported within 24 hours. So, yeah.
That's shit.
If that's all true, then they were arrested for. They would have been arrested for incitement to hatred, I'd imagine.
God damn.
darn it! Wow.
Yeah, because I saw that, and basically they stopped them before they could spew hate speech or whatever the hell they call it over there, which I find completely ridiculous. Like, I mean, arresting somebody for hate speech in and of itself is ridiculous, but not. It's worse when you're arresting them before they even say anything.
Yeah.
Definitely. Now, to me, when it comes to stuff like that, especially when it comes to cops, I say this. One, don't be a smartass around cops. Just don't. It ain't going to work out well for you in your favor.
See, normally I would agree with you on that, but the last time I did, I had some fucking lunatic screaming at me about the Fourth Amendment. So, yeah.
Wait, you're a cop?
No. What it was is I made a response video to this. I forget the fucking guy's name. Trey Melvin. That's the fucker. Yeah. And he was complaining about, police brutality and all that kind of stuff. And I said, well, maybe if you didn't act like a dick with the police officer, then maybe you might not get shot.
Yeah.
And some guy just fucking went mental at me on Twitter. Fucking stealing the line from Undoomed, going, "Hey, moron, fucking moron, the Fourth Amendment." Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, dude, come on.
I remember that video and I remember that thread, and that made me laugh.
Yeah, he tried to accuse me of giving legal advice. No, I didn't say that I was giving legal advice. I didn't put anywhere in the description that I was giving legal advice in that video. I just said, you know, it's just a bit of common sense.
I actually really like how nowadays, if you say something that is your own opinion, people assume that you think that other people should have that same opinion. They're like, you know, you're just like, hey, I like pineapple on pizza. I don't, but this is just an example. You're like, hey, I like pineapple on pizza. And then you'll have some idiot screaming at you on Twitter about how dare you think that everybody should like pineapple on pizza or something like that. And this is like a super new experience for me where I have people screaming at me about my opinions. And I'm like, when did I say that you had to think like I do? I don't know. This is just...
How you got a channel, yeah?
Yeah.
How big are you?
Almost 1,000 subs.
Yeah, well, so when you start getting bigger, that happens a lot more.
Well, it's just strange because, like, okay, so the whole thing was like I made a video questioning sort of the alt-right, like in a very polite manner.
Oh, don't do that.
Yes, I did. I went and did it. And so I kind of sort of addressed it to JF, and he picked it up and he answered my question. So that started a conversation between us. And then I was on Worski's channel. So, like, yeah, it was... I'm a very tiny person. I barely get to do YouTube, and you know, this is like more or less a hobby. But then it's like I have people screaming at me about how, like, oh, you should go back to your country, and like, you know, your opinions are really stupid and blah blah blah, and basically everything. And you know, this is just my own experience because I haven't experienced this before. But yeah, it's just really weird.
Oh, I know who you are. Yeah, I missed that stream, but I did hear about the controversy the day after.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. I recently made a video about Britain First, right? And people, they just completely ignored like a good portion of my video, right? And just took it that I was attacking Britain First.
Yes. I'm like, do you not, like, are you not paying attention to the video that you're supposedly watching?
I know, right? They come in with the straw man after straw man after straw man. It's like I said. I'll give you an example. In the video, I said, right, that I didn't like, and I thought that it was a bit heavy-handed for the two leaders of Britain First to be arrested. Mm-hmm. I said that yes, they were harassing innocent people, and I thought that maybe a prison sentence was too much. Maybe a bit of community service, something like that, something a lot lighter. But no. Apparently, I wanted to see them locked up in a gulag to be worked to death.
Right. If you don't have this opinion, you have the extreme opposite opinion. I was like, man, what did I say? Just like a general point, like, oh, hey, I don't really think basing an ethno-state, like, just based on race, like / ethnicity, is the best idea, because just because you're of the same race doesn't mean you have the same culture. And people are like, what the fuck, you want the white race genocided, you just want the death of the white race. I'm like, dude, when the fuck did I say that? And then that's when they're like, oh, you should go back to your country, you don't understand. I'm like, yeah, you want to like deport me back to Maryland? Sure, like go for it, man. I would love a ticket back home. So
the amount of people that I know exactly what you're saying, exactly what you're saying. Like, you're an SJW, you're a leftist, you're a part of the Labour Party, you're a communist. Am I?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you know what's a sad thing is that I'm somewhat surprised I haven't had that happen to me yet, because I have.
It will.
Eventually,
give it time.
Because I've made videos where I've talked about trans people, and I ripped Riley J. Dennis a new asshole, literally, with the things I say. Well, it was about the HB2 bill, and I got a comment. Like, let me pull out the video. Like, it was about a person saying that because I have bladder problems, I just go straight to the women's or men's bathroom depending on how I feel. And I think, okay, but did you not pay attention to the video? Like, did you not pay attention that that makes others feel uncomfortable when you do that?
Yeah.
And
I'm pretty sure that's not what you said as well. It had probably nothing to do with people having weak bladders.
Exactly.
Look, we can solve the gender bathroom thing right now. Just use the fucking disabled one. It's much larger. There's a lot more ballroom.
Exactly.
It's comfier.
No one's
got-
gonna bother you, you know. Just,
Exactly.
yeah.
I just say this. Do you? Yeah, I can't say. I don't want his stream to go BTFO.
What?
I can't.
I was kidding.
Say.
I'm too small for them to notice me. Plus, I'm not monetized, which I think puts even less of a target on my head. So
Right. So what's up?
I said this like, okay, if you were born a male and you have that thing downstairs, you go to the male's bathroom. If you're a woman and you have a black hole, you go to the woman's restroom. Of course, I didn't say that explicitly in my video, but I basically implied that. In my video, I try not to be crude. I try to use an advanced lexicon such as morbid, troglodyte, mongoloid, Herodin, and so on. I try to appear posh, but every now and then I'll get the kick out of being unposh, we'll say.
Yeah.
Like let me read out the comment that I had here. I'm a guy, and I'll use a woman's bathroom if the men's is full. I also get mistaken for a female because of birth defects I have. To which I responded, how about you wait like a normal person, like everyone else then? No, and don't tell me what to do. Okay, how about this? Why don't you go into the gender-neutral bathroom so that way we're not wasting resources and you don't have to wait?
Yeah. The disabled part bathroom's lovely. It's got armrests next to the toilet.
If you accidentally fall off the toilet, use something to hang on
there's
to.
There's usually like an alert cord you can pull. So if you have an accident, at least you're safe.
It's much roomier, definitely.
Yeah.
And I feel like because barely anyone goes in there, it's cleaner and just, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it makes me think, I don't know how many of y'all watch South Park, but there's that one episode where Cartman pretends to be a girl so that he can start using the girl's bathroom. The school in response builds him his own bathroom, and they put up like a little mini waterfall, and it plays music and a bunch of other stuff. So he gets his own bathroom with there's the men's bathroom when you got the little man symbol, the woman's bathroom, the little woman symbol, and then it says other, and it's got a picture of Cartman on it. And
Man, I kind of missed the train on that show. Like, I grew up with it, you know, being everybody watched South Park, but I never got into it until I was like 20 maybe, and that was when they started tackling like the SJW problem and like the whole PC thing. I thought that was pretty clever, but I know,
which is why I find it ironic that Steve Shive lost his shit and quit watching the show.
Right, exactly. Man, what a sad man.
Oh, speaking of sad men, I noticed this after Ira Bear retweeted Micah Rowlands, and I think this came from yesterday. He blocked me on Twitter, and I actually triggered him yesterday during a stream he had with Christy Winters. I was in the chat, and they were discussing whether or not it's rape if you have sex with a girl and she passes out while you're having sex.
Oh.
And I mentioned something about how sex actually makes my wife tired. So there have been a few times where she's fallen asleep while we've had sex, and she's told me before that if that happens, just finish and then go to bed. He blew the fuck up over that statement, saying that the two weren't related because he was talking about people that aren't married or have just met that night or something like that.
Man, who gives a shit about what he says? Like, there's no way he's getting laid. Just, God.
Oh yeah, and he also got triggered because supposedly Bering made an incest joke about him and his sister because his sister had just stepped out of a shower during the course of Michael doing a stream where he was all happy about Sargon getting assaulted at that event.
Fuck, you know.
Yeah.
To be... Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just
soy boys. This is just don't. You just don't want to date or be around soy boys. Yeah, being a soy boy is is the fourth worst thing you could be in the planet, in my opinion. The fourth worst.
I see. And what are the other? What are the top three?
That's classified information.
I see.
Why is it classified?
You don't want to know.
But like I do because you said it. So like
Fine,
I want to know.
I'll get fine. The worst person you can be, in my opinion, and this is number one, is a pedophile. There is no justifications for it. I think if you do that, if you've done that to a child, then by all means, I hope to God you get the death sentence. But that's my perspective on the matter.
So like if you're a pedophile and you act upon it.
Yes. But if you don't act upon it, then I want you to go see a doctor, get yourself psychologically evaluated, and I want nothing to do with you at that point.
Have they found a cure, so to speak,
For pedophilia?
without wishing to be too crude, other than, chemical castration?
Probably a lot of therapy. I don't know if there's like a set way to.
Well, yeah, because most people who are pedophiles usually end up, not all of them, obviously, not all of them, but many of them end up being abused as children, don't they?
Right.
That's correct, isn't it?
I know in criminal justice studies, they found that it's more than 90% at least. I don't remember the exact figure, but it was high, of pedophiles were themselves abused by pedophiles when they were children. So it's almost a like self-perpetuating cycle.
Yeah, I didn't want to say something like that because that's quite a damning statement without backup on it. Would therapy do much for them?
I think because it's mostly like, you have those issues because something happened to you in the past. More or less, they probably address the event that happened to you that made you that way. So yeah, I would probably say like it's like any other sort of therapy where you kind of work through it, and as you work through it, because I think the whole thing with like pedophilia is it's because it's so I hate this word, but it's because it's so stigmatized. Like it's so much harder for people to work through it because you should just, be quiet about it because it's not okay or whatever. And I think maybe that's part of the reason why a lot of people don't get help, and they either end up acting on their impulses or, I don't know, some other bad shit happens to them. But
I have heard that that is part of the little bit of the problem. Like they don't want to say anything because they'll be ostracized by society.
Exactly.
But I respect when they recognize the problem and actually go to get help. Because this was long ago, but an ex-girlfriend I had in high school, she actually said she had a friend in New York he confided in just to her that he was admittedly a pedophile, but he said that he was actually getting therapy for it, and he avoids children at all costs because of those impulses. So
yeah, and that's the thing is like
I'm just going to mute myself for a moment. Sorry, guys.
No, go ahead.
Go for it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's just like, as long as it's like all of these people, I think they understand like it's wrong. You shouldn't have those feelings. So I respect the people who are like, I need to do something about this, Yeah.
The ones I hate are the freaking advocates that are trying to normalize it and shit like that.
Yeah,
and I'm very glad that for the most part they've been getting the piss ripped out of them and shut down.
Right.
Yeah, to me, I just like you can clearly tell I really hate these sorts of people. Like I hate people who abuse children in general because I've been abused as a kid. I've been physically, emotionally, and psychologically abused. And I can definitely tell you it stays with you for the rest of your life. And frankly, people who abuse children, they royally, and I mean royally piss me off. Like if I was in a room with them, I would find many ways to make them suffer. I just have no respect for those sorts of people. Absolutely no respect.
I'll be honest, at one point I got into Law and Order Special Victims Unit enough. I actually have considered taking a look at that field and see if that was something I would enjoy doing with my life. But like with a few episodes where they have caught the perp and they're holding them at gunpoint and waiting for backup to come and arrest them. I'm sitting there thinking, I don't know if this is a good path for me to go down because I cannot say whether or not I would I'm I'm not gonna lie. I was at least 70% sure I would probably pull the trigger if I had one of those sickos at the end of a gun.
Yeah, it's definitely not a career field for everyone. And while we're on the subject, I used to love Law and Order SVU, except now they have basically become an SJW show.
After that Gamergate episode, I just lost my shit.
There was a Gamergate episode?
Yes, oh my god. They basically did like Anita Sarkeesian and Zoe Quinn's story, where it was like, oh, these guys, they're always bullying these women and they abuse them, and like eventually it's to the point where like a group of them, they go and either rape or like physically abuse this game dev because she's a woman, like specifically because she's a woman, and they're like, oh, girls don't belong in video games, get out of this is like a guy's thing. Like seriously, go look up the episode, because I like Chris Raygun did a video on the episode itself, so I suggest that you watch that because it's so cringeworthy. It's just the worst.
Well, just recently, just recently, SVU had the title of the episode was Infowars, and it was about a blonde reporter who kind of eerily resembled Millie Weaver, who's at a rally where there's both Antifa and alt-right people there. The reporter ends up getting sexually assaulted, and at the end they think. Well, I guess they claim it was this Antifa guy, but then they later on basically insinuate that it was this alt-right guy.
Yeah.
But the whole episode was just basically them asserting that every Trump supporter is a Nazi.
Oh my God. Yeah, see, I liked SVU because it was one of those things where you could just leave on the TV and like do whatever. You could have watched like 4 episodes and you would have no idea you were watching it. And it's just like, oh, this is like kind of interesting. But yeah, then they had to go take some weird stance on a bunch of these stupid issues. I'm like, there was absolutely no need for this, man. Like, seriously, you guys just go look up that video because I can't. I can't. I can't.
To me, right now, I feel like the best TV show. And mind you, folks, I rarely watch TV as it is. I just don't have the time, energy, or dedication to commit to me watching, like literally just sitting on my ass for an hour, looking at a TV screen and watching a show. I'd rather be playing a video game, truth be told. But the only show that has caught my attention in recent history is Black Mirror. And the reason why I like it is because they take some very dark and disturbing things that I never thought would have happened. For example, when it came to this one character, I don't remember his name, but he's running away from the cops, and at the very end of the episode, you think, yeah, he wins, only for you to find out that he actually has child porn, which that to me was just no.
Well, the whole thing with that episode was that there was a person blackmailing him.
Yeah, to me, I just like you feel bad when you put in something like that. Then yes, it just feels wrong. It feels wrong no matter which situation you take. But it's that exact reason why I like Black Mirror. It takes some very dark and disturbing things, and it makes you think about them, and they make you think about them long after you're done watching them. Because to me, I just get bored with most TV shows. I just watch it and forget it. I need to feel I need to be in the right environment, the right mood for me to watch something. That's why I go to the theaters if I want to go watch a movie.
I wish I had a cable hookup for my TV that was a little more reliable, because I do miss being able to watch like Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy on a nightly basis.
Right? Oh man, I miss that. I miss those days. Man, those were good shows. Just like, yeah.
Like I have an antenna on the truck but it does, like certain places will not pick up the local stations. And sometimes I even get stations that I haven't heard of, and I'm just like, what the fuck are these even on for?
It's actually really weird watching TV after not watching it for so long, because you like see commercials and stuff, and it's like, it's just strange. It's almost surreal. It's like, wow, does this shit actually work on people? It almost doesn't seem like it.
And mainly, you find some very weird commercials. Like when I was in Amsterdam, nudity is okay to be on air. I found out. I was shocked.
Really?
I mean, I'm not shocked by seeing a nipple. No. I was more shocked that they allowed that at a hotel.
Well,
Shit, there was one motel I stayed at in Michigan for a couple days. It was one of those little back behind the trees motels that was like $150 for the week, and I was technically homeless at the time, but I stayed there, and they had at least 5 porn channels. And the funniest part, they weren't even behind passwords. And I'm just thinking, I would love to be the parent of a kid that has kids that turn on the TV, and then that's the first thing that comes up.
Oh God!
Yeah, I feel like
that's how I discovered it, because I turned on the TV and it's just this chick getting pwned doggy style.
Oh God! I think maybe because again, I know.
Feel like,
you're gonna say something.
I was gonna say, I feel like you'd have grounds to sue the hotel if you were a parent with kids and they turned it on and saw that.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, that's not even the worst one. One of my favorites, because I've actually been to the station. I wasn't there when it happened, sadly, but this is funny as hell. The Amtrak station in Chicago, Illinois. They actually had an employee that started watching porn on their break on their computer. I don't know what they did, but they accidentally hit some button that sent it to every TV screen in the entire station.
Yeah.
No.
Oh man.
Like, I'm just imagine sitting there waiting on your train. Mommy, what's happening to that woman up there?
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, guys, it was really cool talking to you. I gotta bounce now, so I'll talk to you guys later.
I'll see you later. And for anybody that's watching, I'm gonna put Rava's link in the chat after I'm done with this episode. Please sub to her channel.
Thank you. All right, bye.
Catch you later.
Yeah. I mean, maybe perhaps that might be. Maybe the reason why I was surprised was because I haven't watched TV. I hadn't watched TV in a long time up until that point. Or maybe it's something that they allow, like maybe censor-wise, they allow nudity on the news. Whereas here in the United States, we don't allow that. But to me, I was just caught off guard. Then again, this was Amsterdam we're speaking, where they have the red light district. So that probably should have, now that I put the 2 and 2 together, I now shouldn't be so surprised.
Yeah, Amsterdam is pretty liberal and open.
I mean, to be fair, when it comes to quote unquote the liberal city that I would like to live in, it would definitely be Amsterdam. Amsterdam or Las Vegas.
I see. That's why your avatar lives in Las Vegas, right?
I mean, most of my videos, I live in Las Vegas, but I just say this, that I'm the world's richest hobo. I'm just anywhere, wherever I want to go. Sometimes I'm in Poland, other times I'm in Tokyo, but most of the times I'm in Las Vegas.
I'm pretty much the same way, except I have a boss that tells me where to go.
And the ironic thing is that Las Vegas, when I was there, I was only there for 2.5 days, whereas everywhere else I was there for a week. Yep. I miss Las Vegas and Amsterdam. Mainly because I didn't get to smoke weed, even though I really, really wanted to. But I couldn't for legal reasons.
Yeah, that's one of my only regrets. Like, I'm not a weed smoker. I don't think I'd smoke it on the regular, even if I could. But I can admit that for, like, a special occasion, like if I took a trip out there, I probably would want to, just because, hey, I'm in Amsterdam. People are going to be very disappointed in me if I don't smoke. That's kind of like when that's like if you pass through Nevada and you don't stop and gamble briefly.
Yes. When in Rome, do as the Romans do.
Oh,
Pretty
definitely.
much.
Definitely. And to me, I'm when I was in, like when I remember, I went to Amsterdam first, and then I went to Las Vegas. And when I was in Las Vegas, I thought, this reminds me a lot like Amsterdam, actually. Like there's sex shops everywhere, there's stores everywhere, there's local stores, there's strip clubs. Let that sink in. There's plenty, and there's a lot of culture. I like this. We need this more often.
I remember that was the funniest fucking thing ever. There was a. Oh shit! Looked like Bear had to take off. I remember that was the funniest fucking thing ever. God damn it! What is it? Oh shit! Looked like Bear had to take off. Whenever that stupid delay shuts up.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason the Hangout app that's running the stream, it quits every now and then, and I just got to refresh it. But every now and then, for some reason, it unmutes the microphone, so then I speak, and then it delays. I don't know if it's delaying for you, but it's delaying through my phone.
It's not happening on my end, but I have had the same thing happen to me in the past. So.
But yeah, Bear DM'd me. He had to something happened. He had to take off.
Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna have to take off here pretty soon as well. But
Same.
Yeah, I'll give it about. Or if you want, maybe that's a good place to go ahead and cut it off.
Yeah, I agree.
But actually, all right. Actually, first, let me go ahead and tell you that joke I was telling earlier. That some old. Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard that old chick, but she was telling me to stop. She was asking me to stop cussing, and she was polite about it, so I obliged. But no, so. During International Women's Day, I came across a Melissa Afabella tweet where she said something similar to that wage gap argument I got in about paying the women equally. So one of the chicks that I was arguing with about the wage gap, she got pissed off at me because she went back to my Twitter, saw that I had retweeted Melissa, but I'd also quoted it saying, I usually do pay my women equally as long as they're wearing G-strings that I can put the dollar bills into.
Oh, that's great.
She got all pissed off about that, and I replied to that as like, so what, are you allergic to comedy or something like that? I was joking.
Well, you know how feminists feel about hot women using their bodies to make money. They ban the
grid
girls.
It costs the grid girls their jobs. God, that pissed me off.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
Especially because I've seen several interviews on British TV shows where these grid girls are going on there. They're trying to defend their right to have that job and saying that they have gotten more respect in that job than they have anywhere else. And a feminist trying to tell them that, no, you are actually oppressed, regardless of whether you think you're oppressed.
Mm-hmm. And I got it done. It was a pleasure being on.
All right, no problem. I'll go ahead and end it there. Thank you all for stopping by. Please sub to Conservatarian, My Two Cents. You're probably already subscribed to Irate Bear, but sub to him if you're not. And also Brownie with Opinions. I will put their links in the channel as soon as I'm done with this. But yeah, thank you guys for coming by. That was a fun stream.
It was. Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Yeah, no problem. Come back again sometime.
Anytime.
All right, catch you guys later.
Later.